Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 186 of our Your Next Level Mastermind. And our topic for today is how to be seen and heard online, which is all about visibility. Because if you're the world's best kept secret, then you're not going to make any money as a business anyway. And there's people here about to share with you how they go about doing that. So those watching the recording, whether you're advanced or you're on brand spanking new online, there's always a chance to learn something. And these people know how to create visibility for themselves. They know how to attract people. So please don't just listen to them, reach out and contact them. Underneath this video, you'll see their links. Connect with them, please connect with them. I say this many times and it doesn't happen often enough, but this is a free opportunity. And this doesn't happen very often in this world, right? There's a free opportunity to talk to qualified people who aren't going to charge you to talk to them about advising you. And that's as simple as it is, right? So please take the opportunity these people are giving you. We will get back to the topic when they've introduced themselves to you. But let's start, because Alan, you were the first cab off the rank, and we're going to start with you to share with you, our audience, what you're all about, okay? Apart from talking about solicitors, we'll leave that topic out of it, right? And after you, we'll have John Allen. So,
hi, Peter. Hi, everybody. Well, my business is Alpus Group, and we transform the value of property. So to give you an example, we're taking a closed down care home at the moment, which hasn't been fully used for more than 2 years. And we're converting this into 1-bedroom flats for something called specialized supported housing. So what this means is these are vulnerable people who will each have a flat in the building. There'll be 12 or 13 flats in the building. It's quite a large building, about 7,000 square feet. And we will give each of the people a flat, and then there'll be 24/7, 365 days a year care provided by something called registered provider, which is not us, but we actually provide the building within which this care is provided to vulnerable members of the community. We've got a series of these projects planned. The first of them is in Bath in the UK. It's quite a historic city. And we'll be doing quite a few of them throughout the UK. And what it provides is very urgently needed accommodation. There's a shortage of this sort of specialised supported housing. And we'll also be providing great returns for investors who are participating in this programme of work. So there's a social impact, which is the first thing. It helps to solve the housing crisis. There's a massive housing crisis in the UK. And we also provide great returns for investors, and we reuse assets that are unused or underused. So I'll leave my details in the chat below. Cheers.
Thank you, Alan. So for those watching the replay, look underneath the video itself and you'll see those contact details from Alan. John, followed by George.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in this great, big, beautiful world of yours. I'm John D. Allen, Allen Small Business Coaching. You know, there's a lot of great financial planners, coaches, and insurance agents out there that aren't making all the money that they can. They're using outdated methods that worked before the scamdemic, and since then it hasn't worked. So what I do is share ideas with them of what they can do to build trust, because trust is the new commodity. If your prospects don't trust you, they'll never do business with you. What this does, building this trust, this allows them to make the money and build the business that they want. My details are in the chat. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, John. George, over to you, followed by Yvonne.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is George Noggle from George Noggle International, and I help coaches and consultants spend less time on social media and more time talking to customers and making bank. That's what people want. I don't know about you. I've spent 4 years on my phone, needed cataract surgery because of it, and I got to tell you, it's a horrible place to be. So You want to be in front of people, you want to be on social media less, contact me. My details will be in the comments below.
Thank you, George, very much indeed. Make sure there's a link there that goes to book with you as well. Could you do-
Okay.
Okay. Yvonne, followed by Pat.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Evening. I am Yvonne A. Jones, your relationship building strategist and personal business coach and mentor. First of all, I now live on the island of Jamaica, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and small business owners maximize their online potential by building authentic relationships and leveraging untapped online opportunities. I'm an international speaker, a writer, podcast host, and I elevate your online presence by creating meaningful content that connects you with your audience. You can find me, I will be posting this in the chat, at my various websites on medium.com. And for anyone who doesn't know Medium, that triggers a weird meaning in their mind. Medium is a writing platform. And again, I will be pasting everything in the chat. Thank you, Peter. It's good to be back.
Thank you, Yvonne. It's good to see you. Pat Dry, followed by Vangelis.
So good to see everybody. And Yvonne, you're absolutely right. When you said you're an international speaker, I started thinking, oh my gosh, every week we are all international speakers. When you look at this group and where we're all from, I think we got most of the continents covered, except the cold ones. So anyway, hey everybody, I'm Pat Dreyer, and I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, here in the United States. And very simply, I show people how to make money. And I just use the leverage of network marketing and a company called My Daily Choice as the vehicle to build my home business. And we really just show people how to build a business as a consumer. And once you learn the skills that we teach, you never have to work for someone else ever again. And this is why so many of us actually got into network marketing. It's just a lot of people doing a little bit. There's a lot of ways to make money in this world. And for the average person, network marketing is better than most. And that's really not my opinion. It's a fact. I can back it up. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'm looking for a partner. If that's you, I'll show you how to get started for free and help you get fast results. So connect with me. My details are in the messages, and you can go to patdryer.com. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Pat, very much indeed. Vangelis, followed by Brian.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vangelis, and I am in Costa Rica right now. And I work with C-level execs, managers, entrepreneurs to help improve their KPIs, their bottom line, their productivity, improve efficiency, and so forth. And the way that I do that is I guide people to reclaim their lives and embrace their higher selves, and basically enable them to live authentically and confidently, aligning with what they really are. And I provide a safe, nurturing, supportive space for them to explore and awaken in this world where a lot of us, we wear our false identities. And together, working with all these people, we uncover the layers that have obscured their awareness of their unique potential. I'm a seasoned business consultant and motivational speaker. Been in the world of technology for about 45 years. And I conduct workshops and seminars across all the different industry verticals and all the different people in the different organizational levels, and help them to increase their business potential as well as their personal life.
Thank you, Vangelis. Well done. Thank you. Brian K. McNeil.
Good morning to everyone here, and good morning to everyone that's going to watch this podcast. My name is Brian K. McNeil. I'm the sales coach. I'm a sales confidence coach, and I'm the world's recognized authority on selling services. And I do it through my coaching, through my workshops, my Talk to My platform, my webinars. I have 2 upcoming, or my books. I'm very proud to say I've written 7 great books. It was super exciting to see John holding up 2 of my books when I logged in this morning. I want to tell you also that I am a believer, first, second, and third. Okay, I'm a believer. And I believe the ministry that I was given to me was to teach people how to sell themselves and their services better than ever have before so that they earn more money. I think I've been uniquely qualified and prepared to do that. Just to highlight, a good friend of mine made a video yesterday. It says selling is so simple. All you got to do is find the people to sell to, showcase your stuff in the right way, close the sale, and then follow up. And then that sounds great, but then I had to comment publicly. I says, now when you say stuff like that, and I wrote it out for him too, tell people just find the people that want what your stuff. And if you don't tell them how to do that, or how to present it in the right light, or how to close the sale, or how to follow up, it just frustrates people. There's so much bad counsel on how to sell. Tell someone all you gotta do is close, and then don't teach them how to close, is just picking at them, is where I'm looking at it. So I spend my life in the ministry of teaching people the way to do it in a way that gives honor to the world, the way it was intended. Brian K. McNeil, the sales confidence coach. I will put my contact information in the comments, and I'm happy to be in this circle.
Thank you very much, Brian. Before we get to the topic, I've got apologies from Janet Pacelli, from David Ning. David's in China at the moment, and he assures me that he's not eating spaghetti. He really wanted to get on the program, but he can't get Zoom to work for him. He tried 3 times to get through. Tom Petty, who hasn't been with us for a while, but he said he wants to get back, but he can't do it just yet. Mark Engstar, who's been, he always joins us at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning his time, but he's got 3 meetings in the middle of the night. So I told him to go to sleep. And Glenda Kroll, she can't make a first night either. And before we get to the topic, which is about how to be seen and heard online, for those who are watching this recording, there are some people here who are providing not just an incredible service, but they've launched something, and I'd like to give them the opportunity of sharing what it is. Can I start with you, Yvonne? And then Brian. Brian, you've got your new program that you can offer as well, okay? So Yvonne, can you talk about what you've got available?
Thank you, Peter. This is a product that's designed to help you. The name of it is the Digital Declutter. And I'm coming from the perspective similar to John, that trust is essential. And if we are distracted, we cannot build relationships if we are, for example, I go out to lunch with you, but you spend half your time looking down at your phone and you're glancing at your phone, and even though you have it on silent, that's not the way to build trust. We are so filled with all the things that we have to do online and so forth. So this product, I'm an affiliate for this product. It's not my product, but it's an excellent product. Will help you clear your mind, also create mindfulness, increase your productivity, and at the same time, narrow down your focus. So you're focusing on what's important, the people, the person, your business, so forth. It's called the Digital Declutter. It's a decluttering guide, and I'm going to post the information. There's a special, the introductory price ends on by the vendor, the creator, ends on Saturday. It will be there, but the price will be much higher. So if it's something you'd like to check out, it's under $10. Please do at the link that I posted.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Thank you, Peter.
And the reason I wanted you to do it is because if people use what you've got, they will become more visible. That's the whole point of it. Brian, before I come to you, George has got to go in about 10 minutes. So, George, is there anything you've got that's special at the moment that you want people to know about?
Yeah, actually, I want to work with 5 online providers for free for 5 days to help them become more visible on social media without spending so much time, and actually getting in front of clients and hopefully closing their first deal within 5 days.
Okay, could you put a link that people, when they contact you, they know what it's all about?
Well, they could just book a call on the Zoom, or sorry, not Zoom, but my calendar link.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they should be booking a call in relation to the 5-day
Yeah, I haven't advertised it yet, but I will. I'll be
Okay.
probably doing it this week or next week.
Okay, thanks, George. All right,
Yeah.
good. Brian, you got a $9 special going.
I do, and I'm ready, but I see Alan's hand is raised. Do I need to see what he needs?
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
Okay.
Sorry,
All right,
Alan.
thank you. Okay. Thank you, Peter, for letting me do this here. Yes, in business today, we use tools, and our primary tool are the words we choose to use and how we choose to use them. That's our primary tool. So I'm offering a webinar on the 13th, which is next week, Wednesday, and where I'm going to show folks how to upgrade how they use their words, particularly during the holidays. Words to use, words that help you to sell during the holidays, phrases that help you to sell during the holidays, particularly because these objections are embedded. I'll wait till after Christmas, wait till after Thanksgiving, wait till after New Year's. These things are embedded in our system. So I'm going to give you words and phrases to help people to sell through the holidays. And this is a really, really high content webinar, and I'm charging for it. I won't rob people an opportunity to invest in themselves. I've discovered when I give them an opportunity to invest in themselves, more people show. And I'm going to offer this for $9. Why $9? Just enough to say that you invested something. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to offer this $9 webinar, upgrade your sales language for the holidays. And I have another one the following Wednesday, the 20th. And this one is how to close the year strong. Strategies. Every single month can be big. There's no law that says your sales have to dip in November and December. So I'm going to show strategies to close the year strong in selling yourself and your services. Thank you, Peter, for letting me showcase that.
What a classic line, Brian McNeil. I don't want to rob people of the opportunity to invest in themselves. That is very, very clever. Well done. Anyone else before we go? Before we get to the topic? Oh,
Alan.
Yeah, I just wanted to raise people's awareness about artificial intelligence, and we use artificial intelligence to help us with site finding and also with assessing the viability of sites. This is quite a complex issue to establish what a property is worth, what a piece of land is worth, or what a building is worth, because what you've got to do is you've got to establish what the sales value is for whatever converted purpose it is, and usually it involves a change of use. And you've got to establish what the conversion cost will be, plus the finance costs, depending on the timescale that this takes. And what we use artificial intelligence to do is to arrive at a residual value, which is the economic value of that site or property. So if anyone is interested to talk to me about the viability of any sites that they're having trouble with evaluating, you've got my details in the chat below already. But we also have a new website called alpusonlineai.com. That's alpusonlineai.com, and I'll put that website in the chat box below, and we can actually help you with using artificial intelligence to grow or develop your business. So there are two aspects to this. There's what we do in terms of property, and there's also what we can do for you from alpusonlineai.com. Cheers, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, our topic. Oh my goodness gracious, Mary's just arrived. Our topic: how to be seen and heard online. George, you've got to go in 5 minutes. You want to share your thoughts before you go?
Yeah, I was just typing that I was going to go. Sure, I can share quickly. How to be seen and heard online. What I've been finding is being our authentic selves is huge, and not trying to be someone else, which I have been really bad at doing. But just speaking our language, but also speaking our own truth from our own experience point of view. It seems to resonate a lot more when we can help a client paint a picture of where they are and where they want to be. that be in a post or whatever, a video. Also, too, I've been toying around with the idea of not changing my videos too much, so that they're just my videos versus, some of the other ones are flashy and everything like that. Yeah, they're attention grabbing, but I think the right people will listen to us anyway, whether they're flashy or not. And but it's going to be our communication style will match up with the communication style of the potential client.
Okay. Thank you, George.
Adios.
Okay.
Take care, everyone.
Hi, George.
Good to see you, George.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mary, are you there? You were there a minute ago. There you are. Mary Stanley. Tell the world who the heck you are. So nice to see you.
I've been sick. I had anemia issues and ended up in and out of the hospital for the past month. But I am Supportive Minds, and what I do is I help families and professionals learn alternative means such as NLP, timeline therapy, kinesiology to work with your neurodiverse child, helping them to calm down and understand the mind-body connection and teach them to speak and understand the world around them, but at the same time, letting them be them.
Thank you, Mary. Fantastic service, by the way.
Oh, it's great. I have 2 kids, and my son had a huge breakthrough over the weekend. Went from nonverbal to verbal, and now he is answering questions. And when his sister gets upset, he says Ariana's crying and gives her a hug.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Vangelis, let's start with you, would you mind? How to be seen and heard online. What are your thoughts about that?
When I was in the world of technology for 45 years, I never had to look for any clients because I worked for these huge companies as a consultant, and they would say, go here, go here, go here, go here. So I never had to look for anybody. And about 3 years ago, I decided to shift gears. So all of this stuff is very new to me, this thing about social media, because I had no time to do anything. I don't care if you're eating pancakes this morning. So I had this, you could call aversion to even do anything online because it was just too busy. And people would say, oh, join this group, join this group, join this group. It was overwhelming. So I tried to hire some people to do some of those things for me, and that didn't work out either. So basically what I am doing right now is I am getting myself visibility on podcasts, summits, and those type of things to where people can see me. I've already written a couple of digital magazine articles. I'm actually writing one for Forbes right now. And I've done several chapters in different books for people. So I'm doing everything I can to be visible. And I've noticed some of these people, they've been doing this for years and they've got thousands of followers. And they keep telling me, if you want to grow it organically, there's no shortcut. You just have to get yourself out there. And so that is what I have learned, is not to try to force it or hurry it up, and just get myself out there and just allow people to get to know me. And then as I speak and talk about things, then people will get to know what I'm all about. And I like the thing someone said earlier about being authentic. I have to be me. It's like a song, I've got to be me. I have to do that. And if something doesn't align with me, I can't force myself to do something like that. So I have to do it the way that I feel comfortable, and then that comfort energy goes out. So that's what I've figured out so far.
Okay, thank you. Alan, you got your hand raised?
Yes, Peter, thank you. Yeah, I'd just like to add to what the other speakers have said, that I agree that you can do things organically, but the way I've seen people have the most success is that they use ads in conjunction with producing content. So you generate a certain amount of organic content, and then really to get well seen and heard in every corner, you need to supplement that organic content with ads, whether that's Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or YouTube ads. You need to choose one platform. But in addition to that, I would say you also need to use tools. And I use something called vidIQ, which helps me to find the right sort of trending titles for my videos. And I think if you don't have some sort of assistance, it's a struggle to be seen and heard. If you just rely on organic things without tools, it's a real struggle, because there's a lot of noise out there, and there are a lot of people trying to get noticed. That's all I've got to add. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Alan. Pat, how to be seen and heard online? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think what Vangelis was saying about organic growth is exactly right. But the best way to be out there in front of a lot of people is exactly what he's doing, and may not realize it, but by going to other people and being involved in their stage, if you will, in their group, like being on the podcasts and sharing his audience, her audience with you, you've just opened yourself up to an enormous amount of people that there are some in there that like what you're saying and will follow you and will start building it to be part of your group. So yeah, share other people's stages in the beginning, and you'd be amazed how fast your organic growth will happen to you.
Thank you. And it's not just a matter of creating posts either. It's also, I mean, the money's in the messaging. That's where the money is, right? In the conversations you can have.
It is. And the person that's putting on the podcast knows that his audience is huge, or whatever size it is, knows that everybody is not his customer. And once they recognize that and bring other people on and share, they grow too. And so it's a great benefit to everybody. You know, the more you give, the more you get. And as you share that stage with them and they share their audience with you, it's surprising how many people find their place.
And Vangelis, the other thing is this: you never know who's watching you. They might not even comment, they might not even like or love you, they might not even share or anything. But I've had quite a few people reach out to me and say they've been following me for 4 or 5 years. I've never even heard of them before. They never even leave a comment. So, yeah, food for thought. All righty. Thank you very much, Pat. Yvonne?
Yes, Peter. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, what I have found, there's so many things, but I'll just zero in on two or three that have made a difference for me over the years. And number one is to create high quality content, valuable content that helps my audience. And it's not positioning myself as a know-it-all. It's positioning myself from the perspective of having gone through some of these experiences personally, whether it's building a business online, whether it's walking away from corporate America at the grand old age of 52, and starting in my own business, regardless of what it is, you know, it's just sharing this information, building trust through content, and at the same time, finding out where my ideal clients are mostly located. This is why I spend a lot of my time on LinkedIn. I do spend some time on Facebook, and I have got clients through Facebook, but I find that LinkedIn works better for me. And I'm actually looking for someone to help me with Instagram, because Instagram has now proven to be really great for getting your business out there. But I don't have time to spend the time on all these various platforms. So writing for me has been very good. And engaging with your community, as you know, whether it's a simple like or something on a post on social media, respond to it, acknowledge people. People want to know they're heard, they're valued, and we can do this in very simple ways. Doesn't take a lot of effort to build authentic relationships. And as you know, I'm the relationship building strategist, and that is what from my starting out in as an employee through the years to becoming a self-employed, an entrepreneur, business owner. It's those relationships that have made a difference in my life and my business. Thank you, Peter.
For those who are watching, get on Yvonne Jones's email list. Okay. You will learn a lot by being on that list, because Yvonne puts together content in a way that is relatable to people at all levels. And I congratulate you, Yvonne, because I'm proud to be on your list. I really enjoy what you share and the value that you share and the way that you share it. And I think people they can learn from you as well. So I would highly recommend get on Yvonne's list. And all these people, if they have lists, please get on them, because I know I can speak for Yvonne's because I've been on it for a long time. And
thank you, Peter.
I'm just saying thank you to you as well as a subscriber. All right.
Peter, I'd second that for Yvonne's list. She just sent out a great email this morning. So she does have some incredible ideas and material. So again, I'd recommend everybody get on it as well. Thanks, Yvonne.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank
Brian,
you, John.
How to be seen and heard online?
Yeah, forgive me. I've had my head down because I've had to respond to some things this morning, but I've wanted to be here too. I wrote down some things that I think are very, very important, and a lot of them have been highlighted, but I'm just going to bring it to you Brian style. But how to be seen online. First off, original content. Original content. Something that you wrote or recorded yourself. That's original. Came directly from you. We know that's true because when people Google you, the things that pop up first are your original content. The article you published on LinkedIn, something that's original. The video that you just did, those things can be found quickly. Number one is original content. Number two is controversy. We don't like it. I don't like this part about it either, but controversy does help you to be seen. When I post that no like and trust does not work, or how no like and trust is killing your business, I get more response than I get if you focus more on asking for the business or showcasing a way for them to say, make it easy for them to say yes. And I've been told that by business gurus of my own, which I rejected because I don't want to be controversial. I want to be helpful, but controversy does help you to be seen. Number three is publish. You really just have to publish articles, stuff. Publishing anything, an article or a book or something like that just says publish, positions you as a subject matter expert. And I am certain I've gained business just because I was published. A school system booked me for $10,000 to do 2 workshops merely because I had books and the guy that they were considering other than me didn't. And I believe just the fact that I had books is what got me over. And be consistent. Today, we're in an age where it's harder and harder for people to do business with you unless they've had a taste test of you and enough taste tests. That means they have to try you out or check you out or read your stuff enough times. Even if it's amazing now, if it's not been enough, it's not going to do enough to do it. I'm certain I've gained clients just because I am known as a sales speaker, because that's my consistent lane. I stay in that lane. I don't like this last part, but it just seemed we have such a blatant example of this, but it seems to be that, and forgive me for this, but it seems to be being rude and ugly and insulting helps you be seen. Now I'm going through mourning now because we just had an election, and I just saw that person was very visible by being rude, insulting, and mean, okay, and ugly. That's what happened. He got much, much more publicity because of it. Can you believe he said that? Was blared everywhere. There's an adage that's old, but all publicity is good. Even an article written about you that excoriates you, as example in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, helped his business. Or all he did was talk bad about him. It helped his business. So that's what I want to contribute. But I do believe consistency is the thing. You got to keep speaking. You got to keep posting you talking. And I really believe that's the thing today.
Thank you, Brian. John.
Damn thing wouldn't come off mute. I agree with what everybody said. One of the things, and I just had this conversation with a new client that I had just started, and his big deal was when we started working together, he didn't know whether talking to people about what he could actually do for their business rather than being, I'm the greatest, grandest, most wonderful thing out there, would make a difference. And he tried some of the suggestions that I'd given him about talking to people and making it all about them, not him. That made all the difference in the world to him. He said he was at a large online meeting and he talked about this good word clarity. And he said when he was done, a lot of the people in the group commented to him and asked him about it. They said it was the first time in the year or two he'd been going there that he had real clarity in what he was talking about. And they really liked it. So in your messaging online, make your message clear. Make it so that it's about them, not you, and the results they get and what have you. That's what people are looking for. They don't give a damn about me or you or our solution or program. What they want is clarity on their problem. So that's my 2 cents worth. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, John. And I just want to also say to you, Pat, you have some incredible posts. I just think you put together the words that really capture. They hit you right in the heart or right in the head, one or the other, right? So I want to say congratulations to you, Pat Dryer, because your Facebook posts are pretty darn clever, and you you are making people think and you're making people feel, and it's emotionally driven, and I think it's very clever indeed. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Peter.
Well done. Mary, how to be seen and heard online. What are your thoughts about that?
First and foremost, making sure you're using the right social media for your market. So many people go to like Facebook and LinkedIn, but if that's not where your audience is, you can talk all you want, you're never going to connect. There are so many other third-party social media out there, Rumble and Truth. There's a bunch more. But, Clubhouse, that where alternative individuals are, they're looking for alternative means, are there. And so when you're marketing yourself, making sure you're on the right platform for your messaging. And another big thing is being your true self. I struggled, as you all know, when I first started because I was listening to so many marketers, how to sit, how to stand, how to look, how to dress, how to talk. And it was so hard for me to come out there and talk about what I do because I was focused so much on how to do everything. And when I stopped doing that and just started talking from the heart and relaying my messages my way, it made it so much easier so I could connect with everybody on that level. But also, sitting here and just listening to what others are struggling for, looking at your business and looking at your clients' pain points and where they're struggling and addressing those either in videos or in posts, asking questions, getting that response back, which is getting you a little bit in the controversy part. But, like I made a post about STEMing and neurodiversity. And I flat out literally just asked parents, is it a bad thing because it's something your kids are struggling with? Or is it a bad thing because it embarrasses you as a parent and what your kid does out in public. And then when you take that comment, that question, and then you put it into a response afterwards of what it is and why it's important, you start getting them thinking. Granted, I got a lot of hate mail afterwards because I was calling out parents, but it got the education I wanted them to understand what their kids do for a reason.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. So it's really a matter of when you get down to being seen and heard online, and Vangelis, you said it earlier, it's so darn busy, it's so darn crowded, okay? It is, it really is. But that's where the business is. You've got to differentiate or die. That's what it amounts to, okay? And don't be scared of being imperfect, okay? People, I think that's important. I mean, I think Pat, everyone's mentioned this, the importance of being authentic and being yourself, being your best imperfect self. Any other thoughts?
I don't think anyone else mentioned this, but when you, especially on like Facebook, when you post your messaging, making sure at the end of your messaging, you're adding those taglines and those keywords so that it attracts to the certain markets that are looking for those things. So when they search, your message will pop up.
Good. Anyone else got some thoughts?
Well, just real quick here, Mary, when you were talking about the parents and the way their kids acted and their embarrassment and everything, it just made me think of a couple of different things. And that is, your opinion of me is none of my business. And then the other one was expectations. So the parents have these expectations of their children to be like other children, and yet they know who they are, and they know they're not going to meet those expectations, yet they put them on themselves so much that it just drives them crazy. And they have to realize that the expectations are never going to be met, and they just need to learn to live with that.
But whatever I can tell you, those expectations can be met. But the problem is that a lot of the expectations are things that you look at yourself as a failure. And helping parents see that it's you, not the kids.
Right.
Helping build that relationship with yourself. Because that's the struggle that most parents have, is they figure they did something wrong. They screwed up their kids somehow.
Good point, Mary.
I went through that when my kids were labeled and diagnosed. I went through everything thinking, what did I do to screw up my kids?
Yeah.
Vangelis, you were going to contribute something?
I was going to say something that Yvonne said earlier. One of the reasons I had this aversion about social media is because they said, make connections. Well, I'm not a person that sits there and responds to every message within 2 seconds. I started reaching out to people, say hi, and they said, well, why don't you respond? Why don't you respond? I said, okay, I'm done. I can't connect to 1,000 people. And to figure out who to connect to, because I would read their profiles, and I spend about an hour just looking, because you can't just, it takes time to figure out where they are and who they really are, because I don't want to just connect to 1,000 people and none of them identify with me. None of them are even a client that I would even have. So it's just, again, time. And that's what people keep telling me. They will say, look, I was talking to a friend of mine, a colleague yesterday. He says, I got 10,000 people on LinkedIn. I said, well, how long have you been doing it? 10 years. Thank you. It just takes time. And he says, I don't talk to everybody. A lot of people, I just don't have time for it. And I said, okay, so you have to be okay with not responding. He goes, yeah. So these are the things that I'm just figuring out, because it's just overwhelming, and trying to befriend everybody and look for the right clients. So Yvonne, I'll look at your stuff and see if I can get on your mailing list, because just understanding how to spread yourself correctly, what does it mean to make connections? Really, I mean, I can't be, because I would be doing this the whole time I'm talking. Okay, And so that's something that is in my thought right now. That's where I'm at.
Can I just mention something here? When it comes to messaging, I try to be as natural as possible. And if someone messages me, I never respond immediately. On purpose, I don't respond immediately. Otherwise, it could be seen as desperation or whatever it is. Okay, and I used to make it very long messages, and that was crazy. I was trying to give as much information as I could, but that wasn't a conversation. I was confusing a conversation with giving a webinar and trying to put it all in a messenger. I mean, all I'm saying is keep your messaging short, very short indeed. But at the same time, remember it's a two-way dialogue you're having. It's not a one-way conversation.
It's lifting up that this is there is a bunch of art and science in this, you see. For example, I feel your frustration, Vangelis, especially when you're talking about, I don't have time to do this that way and that, and I'm not gonna, and the exact opposite is true too. For example, if I find someone that I want to connect with, and I like the person, I think they're interesting, I think they might have some connections, and I'll reach out to them and I'll put my contact information in. And if they don't respond to me within months, okay, for example, this happens because they're busy too. And then when they respond, hey, Brian, I'm sorry I didn't respond to you earlier, but I saw your message. I want to respond to you. Here's my calendar. Let's get on a calendar and talk. Now, my knee jerk is offended. I sent them my calendar before. They're going to wait months, and then they don't know anything about me yet. I'm no longer interested. So then I want to wait too. So there is some art to this instead of science. And again, one thing I wrote down that I didn't mention other than original content, controversy, you publish, be consistent, is, and I wrote on my notes, I should have said it last time, there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. Okay, and you will be more famous in certain markets than you will in other markets. That's true. But just like you have groups of friends, your church friends and your gym friends, there's different friends, but there's certain markets, some subsections of markets where you'll have a degree of notoriety or a degree of fame. And it might not be a big degree, it could be a little degree. But in this community knows me because of this, or that community knows. So just staying in the game, I think, is the thing. I do apologize. My podcast starts in 7 minutes. I got to go down the hall.
I need to run too.
Bye, Brian. Bye,
Well,
Brian.
Vangelis,
Vangelis, what I would say, oh, go ahead, Mary.
One thing we all forget when we talk about marketing is we stay so much on social media and online, we forget about our local markets. And, going to like your town hall meetings and talking about your business, talking to local newspapers and different events and different things, and just putting your face out there in your own community is a big step to getting you noticed everywhere else. Plus, it's free publicity.
Good point. Good point.
That's so true. Peter, may I?
Please.
Yeah, that was not the point I was going to mention, but I cannot allow that to go by without saying how true and how effective that has been or had been. Since I'm here in Jamaica, I haven't attended, I haven't tried to find any networking events. So now my focus is on virtual networking. But, excuse me, I made a name in my community when I started my online business by attending networking events, chambers of commerce, BNI, meetup groups that met locally. I started my own meetup group. 90% of the people who came to my very first online course in 2012 came from my meetup group that started offline, or that was offline. And just being there, doing lunch and learns, free lunch and learns, collaborating with others can make a huge difference. And I just wanted to say to Vangelis that I understand, and I'm not always able to respond to everybody who writes to me on LinkedIn. And what I've learned to do, something that Peter shared years ago, and I kept it at the back of my head. When you read a profile, pay attention to what the people do, because it's so aggravating that the moment you accept a connection request, then you get a DM with, it seems like it's about a 2-page thing about what the person does, their services they offer, and so on and so on and so forth. If they're not your right fit, do not even accept a friend request, because you don't have time to waste with people who are not your potential ideal clients. And just looking beyond that, these people, you can also be friends or connected with people who could be collaboration partners. So they don't have to be people that you're going to serve, but they could be people who have strengths that you don't have, and together you're a powerhouse in a collaboration.
Good point.
Yeah,
Saying when
thank
people
you.
reach out to you and connect with you, and you accept the connection request, and their first question is, what do you do? And I simply say, read my profile.
One of the things I do, Vangelis, is somebody said to me, geez, you didn't respond to me right away. My response usually is, holy shit, I got back to you within 48 hours. I'm doing good. It usually takes me a week. Consider yourself lucky. And some of the remarks you get back are rather interesting. And a lot of them you get unfriended or whatever. But so what? I use SW, next. Some will, some won't. So what? Next. There's 8 billion people in the world, and if that one person doesn't like me, tough shit.
I think
And
that's a
their
big deal.
problem, not mine.
That's a big deal, John, because, I figured out I don't need 1 million followers. If I have just 100 people, that's going to take me a long time just to work with those people. So again, it's just the patience and just to allow things to unfold, because that's what I realized. I started about a year ago getting into social media, and it took a long time. And now in the last couple of months, I've been on 8 podcasts and 2 summits. So it just kind of had to, it's like you plant something and you don't see it grow at all.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, and that's why I don't want things to grow too fast, because I had to build all my structure, meaning, well, what if someone did say, okay, and do I have a payment plan in place? So all these things that, like I've already been invited for 3 podcasts in the last couple of days. Okay, and they want to, your bio, your headshot. So all that stuff now I have ready, but it took me a while. And so I think I just need to be patient and just let things unfold, and it will just take off really fast. So that's what I'm really doing, is just being visible and doing it, again, my way, because I think I like what Mary was saying. I'm not for everybody. I'm for specific people that are in this particular lane, and that's who I'm attracting. And I'm just doing it slowly and just consistently. And one last thing, to give people what they need is not what I've seen works, because I've never been hired for what they need. I'm hired for what they want, and then I end up giving them what they need. And so that's another thing that I've had to really figure out, so to make my message for what they need, because they want to have the bottom line and efficiency and all that stuff, but really what's underneath it is all the mental blocks and limitations. So that's another thing that I'm realizing.
Spend some
I'm gonna
time
give
talking.
you-
Sorry, go ahead.
Gonna say I'll give you the advice that I was given a couple years ago that I helped me build where I'm doing, and it's to be okay with them not being okay. And it doesn't matter if you're coaching or in your business, social media, whatever. It's being okay with them not being okay.
Mm.
Because
No,
when you're okay
Vangelis,
with them not being okay, then you can keep going and not worry about saying the right thing, doing the right thing, and connecting with them on that authentic level to really help them on both levels.
what I'd like to recommend, Vangelis, is spend some time talking to Mary, Yvonne, Brian, and Peter. They can all give you some really great suggestions, ideas that can really help. Same with talking with Pat Dreyer. They've all got some great ideas. Alan's got some for his experience. Everybody on this call can share some great ideas with you. Reach out and talk to everybody. It'll be well worth your time.
By the way, Vangelis, I'm deliberately doing something right now. My focus is on LinkedIn rather than Facebook, but I put a post on Facebook, but I don't do anything. I don't visit very many people's posts at all. But what I do is I message them. Okay, I read their post. I'm just trying something new. I read their post. I'll read Yvonne's post, or look at John's post. Okay, and I will message them simply using the phone, and I'll leave them an audio message about their post. I'm just trying to see what happens. And this week I've had less than 2 comments on a Facebook post and got 4 bookings online. So there's a message there as well. All right. Think about it. Sometimes we are driven by our ego to have a lot of comments on our posts, but that doesn't necessarily put any money in your bank. But if you were talking, if you're communicating with people, and I'm not decrying the need for good content. I mean that's a flagship, but the key issue to me is the communications that you're having with people in social media. And as Yvonne said, make sure you're talking to the right target audience. And also, as I said earlier, it's a 2-way dialogue, and keep it short and brief and to the point. And the most important thing is to get them off the messaging and onto a one-on-one call with you, rather than just staying on. Otherwise, you go around in circles on social media all day, and what's the point of it? Okay. Anyway, any other thoughts?
Networking. Referrals. That's literally how I built my business.
Okay. But in terms of visibility, yes? Okay. What is not
networking is a big way to get your name out there, visibility wise.
Okay. What's not working right now, because it's the algorithm within LinkedIn has changed. There are a lot of people in LinkedIn who gather together and they comment on each other's posts. The idea is to generate that. I don't know whether you saw this, Yvonne, but LinkedIn put out a statement about that. They are getting really upset by that. It's very obvious. These same 20 people are commenting on, say, other people's posts, right? And LinkedIn have worked that out, and it's not working anymore. They are putting out as a type of spam.
I haven't seen that post, but I got wind of it from some LinkedIn experts that it would be coming.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the exact, that they've been looking at that. And I can understand that, because I was in a couple of those years ago and I found it so time consuming, because if 15 people liked what you did, you felt obligated to go back and make a comment on all those 15 things, whether you liked it or not, or you found it valuable or not. And to me, it wasn't really, back to the word authentic. It wasn't really authentic, But I do have to go, Peter. It's after 9 o'clock.
We're going to finish. We're going to finish up. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry to hold you longer than we should.
Yes, I'm sorry, Peter. Is there a way that we can get to save the chat, or has that been because I can't seem to find where to save it. I can see where I can copy, but I can't save anymore like I used to.
If you go up to the top.
If you go up to the top, there's 3 little dots, not down the bottom anymore.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Dots up there.
Oh, they moved it.
Yeah, well, it depends on what model of Zoom you've got.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Okay, take care, everybody. Thank you very much for your contribution. All right.